Remember, they're changing my voice. When I give spiritual verdicts, obviously I'm serious. That is what it is. When I start saying things like hit them with a brick, that they deserve to be hit with a brick, that's to convey how serious the situation is. I'm not arguing that you should be violent. However, in my book, it makes it clear that God won't hold it against you if you fight to the death against your oppressor. Okay? They can't just do whatever they want and say, well, we're the government and we'll call you a terrorist. It doesn't work that way. And damn near half the country or better has already conceded that argument. And obviously, I'm not a liberal, conservative, or anything like this. You see what I'm saying? It is pretty straightforward. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't defend yourself from the government, including launching a preemptive strike when you have enough evidence and logical evidence and they're jucking and jiving you instead of presenting a viable counterargument. So anybody planning to strike out at their oppressor, okay, God won't hold that against you, but he'll hold against you not being in the divine order. Because anyone who doesn't gather with me scatters, even if they strike my enemy. Okay? And I have no plan, on top of everything else, to be physically violent. Right now, the plan is to be screened out. Okay? They'd have to really do something dramatic to cause me to be violent. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'll leave it there. Remember, they're changing my voice. Remember, bitch-ass betas are using technology. Okay? And they can even make it so that animals start acting up. It's not very hard. It's like if you yell at an animal, he'll start acting up. If you hit it with frequencies, they'll start acting up. They start experimenting with that, and they can then find ways for animals to pester you. Okay? I don't like discussing things like this because there's some immature kind of white boys in a frats. I'm not necessarily racist saying this, but white guys in a frat, they're like, dude, he thinks this, dude, and it gets it's pathetic. I thank God I'm not from their cultures. It's very, very pitiful. It's very punk-like. There's no other way to look at it. So what they did not see in me. Remember, seeing is believing. Okay? As in left, leaving, to leave. If you truly see these things in me, you rally to me, I'm the gate, I'm the way to leave, and you obey God through me, there's no other way it could be. If you write down reasons why that is, you'll quickly see that I'm right. All right, so point number one, what they should see in me, and they have no excuse for not seeing in me, is that I'm Christ, and the top martial arts ever possible is one and the same thing. He who did the most to help females, he who is sabotaged and owed, and the most naturally handsome man ever possible. Naturally, before sabotage, right? My natural state, my natural gene expression. If they didn't see these things in me, then they are dumber than fucking a doorknob. Okay? That's point number one. So if a woman sees that, she obeys immediately, right? She sees it and appreciates it. She truly sees it. Number two, we can remove some of these elements and just say Christ in the top martial arts ever possible. Number three, remove your understanding of martial arts altogether and say just seeing Christ. So if they just see that I'm Christ, that by itself is enough to obey. But there's more to that than what you commonly understand as Christ, which goes back to number one, right? Christ is the top martial arts ever. He is he who did the most to help females, who is sabotaged and owed, and the most naturally handsome man ever possible in the context of the time period we live in. After I'm gone, no one could possibly be Christ or a valid leader or even a decent human being. Okay, unless they obeyed God through me, but then no one can reproduce. You see what I'm saying? If they obeyed God through me, they're supposed to acknowledge that they're not supposed to lead. They're just supposed to do what I told them to do, and then they die one day and voila. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so number four, even if they don't see that I'm Christ, even if they're like, you know what, we don't acknowledge that. This is what Christians need to really hear. Everyone needs to really hear and understand. Even if you do not see Christ in me because you're a dumb fuck that is looking for a white devil with a long hair, it looks like a southern hick, or looking like Nathan Bedford Forrest or something, or some rich, arrogant English guy with his nose in the air while kids are getting plugged in his Masonic lodge, okay? You should still see that I'm the top martial artist ever possible and he who is sabotaged and owed. If someone is the top martial artist ever possible, do you think you should do what you think is fucking right? Or listen to what he thinks is right And if you have no viable counter-argument, to fucking do it. This isn't rocket science, this isn't brain surgery, this isn't needing to be the top martial artist to figure this out here. What don't you people get? Number 5, even if you do not believe I'm Sabotage Node, I've presented far more than enough evidence that I'm the top martial artist ever possible. No one could ever pass me due to tech, breeding, or ill-gotten gains. To think that somebody like 5,000 years ago could beat me is like fucking saying a caveman could beat me. Okay, think about evolution. Think about righteousness and evolving to be superior to the other life forms, right? Man is a work in progress when he's in the spirit of righteousness that existed before. They weren't anywhere near as coordinated, as tall, as effective, tall with a mix of coordination. I'm not the tallest, but tall with a particular mix of coordination and heart. They didn't have certain characteristics that make it clear to even a little kid playing Street Fighter 2 back in the day that nobody has a fucking chance against me. When you see Sagat versus fucking Willow Osgood, you don't say, I don't know, man, maybe Willow can beat him. Looks can be deceiving. No one's that fucking stupid, even now. So now we get to number 6. Now, some of you might be confused about this. The key word here is, the word possible is removed here. It's the top martial artist ever, but not ever possible. Even if you're like, I don't understand his tech breeding and ill-gotten gain argument. I don't understand. But I do think he's the top martial artist ever. Okay? You should still see that I'm the top martial artist ever and he who did the most to help females. Even if they meet me at number 6, even if they perceive me to be number 6, why the fuck are they not obeying? Why aren't they following me? Why aren't they rallying to me? Even if they just think I'm number 6, because they're on some bitch ass shit, right? Number 7, and just complete dummies, useless. Their brains don't work, just dumb fucks. Number 7, the most moral, a great martial artist, and he who did the most to help. Even if they just believe that I'm the most moral and they're confused about whether I'm Christ and the top martial artist ever and so on and so forth, they should still see that I'm the most moral. So why the fuck aren't they rallying to me when the world is in such terrible shape and 1 in 4 little girls is molested sexually and 3 million children starve to death or die of hunger-related issues a year and all the other horrible stuff that goes on in the world? Why aren't they rallying? Why aren't they respected? Why are women shunning me? Because people are dumber than fucking dirt. Nowhere near my equal. Nowhere near. Number 9. If they don't see those other things, they should see that I'm a great martial artist from a good family. Show me one great martial artist from a good family on this planet. Their families worship the fucking devil. They've accepted the boundaries of their ethnic cultures instead of universal moral precision. That's not a good family. That's a racist family. That's too proud to be good type of family. They've accepted the boundaries of the corporate state. Hi, guys. I'm allowed to have a popular YouTube channel because I'm a bitch type of bitches. What don't you people get? I'm your local fucking guy that they let have a martial arts school because I'm a bitch type of bitch. What don't they get? Number 10. Even if they don't see that I'm a great martial artist from a good family, they should see that I'm moral and from a good family with years of helping women. What other guy could say the same thing? They've accepted the boundaries of being a bitch-ass, state bootlicking type of punk from controlled opposition like a complete bitch type of bitch. Fuck can they say? Hey guys, I think she should choose me over him because I suck a state dick and help pedophiles feel bad while they're fucking a kid in the ass. What kind of bitch-ass shit is that? Females should get hit with a fucking brick for not rallying immediately. You'd rather date fucking pedophile helping scum? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like I gotta explain this shit. Anyway, and I'm not saying that you should smack them with a brick, mind you, in case you need me to hold your fucking hand through communication. Anyway, where was I? I'm saying, anyway, where was I here? Oh yeah, number 11, you should see that I'm moral from a good family again. That puts me above everyone else. 12, logically moral and from a good family. See, I don't understand if he's moral or not, but he's logically moral because the arguments he's making why everyone else is acting like a bitch. He's pointing to a valid moral order when everyone else is pointing to fucking being a bitch. and worshiping the devil in their own ways. And whoever doesn't gather with me scatters. So if you don't gather into a valid moral order, you're scattering away from a valid moral order. So you're less moral than this guy, which means he deserves the woman. Let the best man win. He's better than him. He's a good man, Mr. Right, on the right path, doing the right thing, who's righteous, who's right for you, and so on and so forth. So I'm still beating them by far. Number 13, you say, well, what about humility? Well, I'm supposed to pretend that's not the case? Why, she sucks a fucking kid shit off a fucking pedophile's dick? You stupid fuck? Yes, I'm supposed to say it this way, you bitch-ass motherfuckers. Punk-ass motherfuckers. Yes men to the devil type of bitches. Anyway. Point number 13. Logically moral when compared to other guys who are all basically variations of common slaves to sin. It says in the Bible, all who sin are slaves to sin. You say, why are you cussing? Well, did they not call them a brood of vipers, a brood of evildoers, snakes? I did not come here for the dogs. What is a female dog? It's a bitch. You see, I know way the fuck better than other motherfuckers. They're like a Wing Chun dummy compared to me. I outmaneuver them easily and tell them to shut the fuck up, spiritually and otherwise. Motherfuckers. Anyway, 14. He who is the most mature and with the most sense. Everyone else say, I'm too immature to do the right thing. I'm a bitch ass. Why don't you see that in them? We have no sense. We're like immature. We're like bitch ass motherfuckers that do whatever anyone says, and they want us to act like a gender neutral bitch. We do. They want us to act like a Trump fan. We do. We're like bitches. Type of punk ass motherfuckers. Type of choir boys that never grew up. We got fucked in the ass as a little fucking bitch ass kid, and we're still acting like a bitch motherfucker who lets the fucking priest fuck him in the ass. I would have, as a little kid, if a priest tried to some shit like that with me, I would have stabbed him to death and stomped him the fuck out. What the fuck's wrong with you little bitches? Anyway, where was I? 15. The one with the most sense. The one with the most sense. You want to date nonsensical motherfuckers on a nonsense state conformity path, can't keep their dick fucking in their pants type of bitches, reproducing scum left and right, multiplying the unfaithful type of filth type of bitch? Consider Isaiah 28:17. Make righteousness and justice the measuring line and plume line. Now these sayings based on truth, I'm going to go over them real quickly and then we'll wrap this up here. They say he is a good man, right? Why? Because righteousness is greater than wealth. Right? That's why you say when you get married, through richer or poorer, through sickness and in health, till death do you part, right? Why? Because you're not supposed to look for money, you stupid airhead motherfuckers. You gold-digging ass financial stability looking for type of fair weather sluts. You know what you call a person with a fucking financial imperative? And what you call a female who has a financial imperative in regards to dating, instead of the content of the character, she's a hooker, she's a whore, she's a gold digger. She's a fair weather slut, okay? And that's not cool, you know? She shouldn't be that, and they shouldn't marry her, and they shouldn't make the romantic pitch, you know, appealing to her gold digger nature. I could take care of you rather well, I have this, this, and this, or whatever they would say. You see what I'm saying? Matthew 6, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, not wealth. You know, store money in heaven, in the spiritual realm, and not physical, not worldly money in the physical realm. And the parable of the rich man, and you know, and I made a video, you know, the parable of the rich man and the eye of a needle, right? The camel and the eye of the needle, and so on and so forth. The explanation, rather. Okay, and I made a, you know, there's all kinds of proverbs about how wealth is nonsense and how you should do the right thing and so on and so forth. All right, so again, it says, don't sink to the level, right? Who's better than who, right? Don't sink to the level because righteousness is greater than wealth. You know, it's greater than being Lex Luthor and so on and so forth, right? Is Lex Luthor the hero of Superman or Superman? And obviously they're kind of pagan ideas superimposed on something else and what have you, you know, especially Western pagan occults, you know. Where do you think these pagan ideas in their most dominant forms come from? They come from the West. Okay. Anyway, and again, Mr. Right in his right mind on the right path, who's doing the right thing and is righteous. Also, the idea of laughing stock versus actually being, you know, what the eugenicists would call good stock. But they were a bunch of Satanists, right? They were a bunch of Lothrop Stoddard, Dick Dastardly looking dogs, Francis Galton looking like a psycho occultist, the guy who coined the term, just a bunch of bad guys. And it kind of culminated with Nazi Germany.